first and foremost, your initial thoughts on the performance and the result.
Yeah, I have to channel my inner Zen here I'm still fired up. I thought the guys, especially in the second half, really competed well. The first half, I think we were late to some of the balls and we were getting out competed. And that was partly the message at halftime, is that we need to step up the intensity. And in second half, we did everything that we could do, except score a goal. And, that's frustrating. But, I give the guys a lot of credit. It's really about, them believing that we can go anywhere and win the game and continue to have that belief. And, I think at the end of the game, they're certainly going to walk away with that feeling.
Was there anything missing, you think, specifically in the final third at the end there?
Well, listen, we were close. We had some good chances, right? And, to me, there were some good moves behind the back line. Maybe the final pass could have been a little bit more accurate, but, there was a lot of good attacks. And, normally when you get that many good attacks, you score a goal. And in this case, we just didn't. So that's a little frustrating. But I think, if I had to be critical of the team, it's in that 5-minute block right before halftime where we give up 2 goals, completely unnecessary, completely against the run of play. And, I think a little bit frustrating for the whole group.
And last one here, you had to get a bit creative with the defense. Omari was that right back, Marin was that left back.
You like that?
It was interesting. So first I want to ask about that, where you think the defense is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we heard earlier, Jack Elliott's now injured, expected to miss some time, and Sam injured as well. If you have any updates on either of those two.
Leo also. That's just the way it is. We have to have the next man up mentality. We've had it all year, and we just have to roll with it. And, whoever's healthy will get an opportunity. And in this case, we had a depleted backline to begin the game, and I think it increased as the game went. But that's part of it. And the guys still showed that if they compete, they can hang in there. And that's what we did.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. We'll go next to Joe Schatz.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Greg, so much for the time. Just one from me. I was curious. Amari had a couple chances in the second half. Just him getting those minutes, understanding that there was a need for depth at those positions, but also seemed like he had a couple chances, and there was one where the corner kick was taken short and he had that long-range opportunity. Just curious about your thoughts on him and his confidence.
Amari is a guy that will do whatever it takes for the team, and that's what we love about him. He doesn't complain. He does his job, and he works hard, and he competes, and he did that today. He got an end of some good chances. He returned provider for the one chance that we had late in the game. He had a shot from distance. If I would say anything, he needs to continue to work on his finishing and work on, when he gets those opportunities, really being clinical in front of goal. Because he has everything else to be a good player.
Thank you so much. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Tim Hotsey.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for the time. So just if you could give a little bit more about sort of like what you thought of the performances of the 2 wingers converted into fullbacks for this one. Obviously out of necessity, but what did you see from them? And is that a role that you think that both of them could eventually get some more minutes at through the course of the season?
We didn't have a fullback on the bench, so we had to get creative there. And we looked at their profiles and thought that they could both do it. And so it's not perfect, but again, when you have these circumstances, you have to make the best of it.
Thank you. And one more just about, the one fullback that you did start, Justin Reynolds, his second career start. Can you just talk a little bit about his performance? Obviously early kind of in his development, hasn't had a lot of minutes in his time in the league.
Yeah. And he's another guy that has a huge ceiling, and it's really about, him believing in himself and his quality. And when he does that, you see he can be dangerous. And when he's hesitant, it's more difficult for him. But he's a guy that we want to continue to push and help develop, because he is, a high quality player.
All right. Thanks, and have a safe trip back.
Thank you.
Jim Alexander, we'll go to you next.
Hey, Coach. Tough game, tough loss. But there's been a bit of a trend when you guys kind of go up a goal or score a goal, you tend to give one up quickly. I think it happened maybe in Dallas or Vancouver last week. Montreal scored right after a half too. What do you say? What do you think is that? Maybe getting a little bit lackadaisical or concentration that, after a goal, the other team seems to score pretty quickly after.
Again, I'm not going to buy into that completely. I need more data points to really subscribe to that. I think if it happened once or twice, I'm not sure if it's, if we say that's who we are. I think in soccer in general, your biggest vulnerability is right after you score. But we'll keep evaluating that. What I would say is in general, we don't want to concede goals whenever that time may be.
Thanks, Coach. Safe trips.
Thank you.
We'll now go back to the room. Mohammed Hassan, to you.
Coach, so with the goal with Bamba and then missing a lot of chances at the end, how do you see yourself recouping from that?
It's a long season. For us, it's really about seeing the big picture, and the big picture is we know we can compete anywhere, and we know we have things to improve. And when we improve them, we're going to be a dangerous team. And until we improve them, things like tonight will happen. And for us, we got the lead. We had 5 minutes of a blackout period where we gave up 2 goals, and then the rest, the second half was a dominant performance.
And do you see any missing pieces that you could probably fix in the transfer market coming up?
We have injury lists. I think that is taking a toll a little bit on the group right now. I think if we have everyone healthy, it would be nice. And then I think we build from there. We added a piece, central midfielder, last week, and we'll continue to evaluate. We want to make the team better all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Renan, do you have a question?
Yes, just one, please.
Go ahead.
Greg, can you hear me?
I can, Hernan.
Yes, sir. This is the 7th game. I just want to ask you really quick if you think the team has already you create a mentality of the game of play that you wanted for the Chicago Fire. Thank you.
We're getting there. It's not all the way there. I think the switch of field takes too long at times. I think, the positional, the play sometimes, guys take a while to get in their positions, but, we're getting there. We're doing our best, with what we have right now. And, the guys just went 5 games unbeaten. And that is something. And today it should have been the 6th game unbeaten. And, unfortunately it's not, but we'll regroup and get back to work and look to put in a strong performance against Miami.